mom ended up telling, she wrote a book about, her childhood was a childhood diary about how she was sexually abused. This man's face went from excitement to, oh my gosh, to turning his head, adjusting his body, and the rest of the plane completely uncomfortable. And that's not the first time I've experienced that. I've experienced that on trips by myself, flying somewhere for a big, huge speaking event in Texas or some other place where I'm on a plane and someone overhears a phone conversation and ends up asking me, well, what's this book you wrote? And I'm not telling them, they get really uncomfortable. And that's my whole goal, is it's nothing to be ashamed of, it's nothing to, hold guilt over. At the same time, I'm hoping that by coming forward in public, speaking public about this, it'll get more people to be aware of it, because there are so many parents in our society that don't sit down and have these conversations with their children. They don't sit down and say, talk to their kids. I mean, all it can take is a 10-minute conversation with your kids at night talking about, not keeping secrets from mommy and daddy, what a good touch and a bad touch is. And at the same time, our school systems, they do a great job, bringing in all these different resources, teaching children, like I said, stranger danger. But 80 to 90% of the times, these men that are doing this to children are someone the family knows. And it's not this person that's hiding in the bushes. It's not this scummy-looking, person that you expect it to be. It's your average Joe. It's your, clean-cut, next-door neighbor, family friend, teacher, youth leader, you name it. Yet our society has this view of teaching, just drilling in our kids' heads of don't talk to strangers, which I think is great, but at the same time, no one's talking to children about, what could happen in the family, what could happen with the people you love and trust, and to not keep secrets from mommy and daddy, and talk to them about what a good touch and bad touch is. And I just wish that schools would do the same thing, somehow get some kind of curriculum, and it's something that I hope to through time, get something set up in schools to do that. If you're going to bring in these programs that teach these kids, DARE program that teaches them to say no to drugs, but you got no one coming in and teaching these kids, this is my body, no one harms it. Just the different programs that these kids can be taught that they aren't taught at a very young age. Because that's society for you. There's so much stigma and taboo attached to this topic that no one basically wants to talk about. And if it's going to take me standing up and talking to a bunch of people and making people uncomfortable and making people really hear what I have to say, then I'm going to keep doing it. And it's basically something that I found in my life, something that used to haunt me and I couldn't escape. And basically told myself that, this thing that I used to say, why me? Why did this happen to me? What did I do so awful in my life, that caused me this horrible thing to happen? Like I wasn't some horrible, terrible person. And I finally stopped asking those questions. I started to realize that in every situation in life, even some of the most tragic things, in the end, there's a purpose. Everything happens for a reason. Nothing just happens because it happens. I've known a young woman